All right, let's go to the phones. You're calling from a 312 area code. Who's this? 312.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Hi.
Are you there?
Yes, who's this?
Okay, this is Lynn in Chicago.
Hi, Lynn.
I
How are
couldn't tell
you?
if you were there or not.
Yes, we're here.
Okay, how's it going?
It's going great. How you doing?
Okay, I know there's a subject that you're tired of, but I wanted to see if you could try to explain to me why I should vote for Hillary if Bernie is not the candidate.
Supreme Court. Well,
enough,
okay.
because-
You're in Chicago. It's probably not that relevant, but I assume you're asking the question if you're in Ohio.
Period.
Yeah.
No matter where I lived in this country, I would never vote for or support anything right wing.
Okay.
So-
Well, that's fine, but
Imagine.
but you are. If you would otherwise have voted, and you don't vote to defeat the Republican, you are in fact supporting something right wing. You are supporting.
No, I'm not.
Well, wait a second. You got to let me finish.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
what will happen is Donald Trump or Ted Cruz or Paul Ryan or whoever it is, they will appoint Scalia's replacement. They will appoint Ginsburg's replacement or Breyer's replacement, and Friedrich will come back up, or a case like it, and public sector unions will be destroyed. They will continue their assault on a woman's right to choose. They will continue the assault on access to courts. I mean, I could go on. So you are supporting. You are supporting the right wing.
No, that's your opinion, because you're basically throwing out the fact that we're already an authoritarian country, that we're going to be progressing to the far right no matter what happens, and you're basically abdicating any responsibility you have to try to force the Democratic Party to veer to the left.
All right. Well, no, wait a second. First off, that's also your opinion. But let's say we are in an authoritarian state already.
Hold
on. Let me, Lynn, wait a second.
Really my opinion.
Well, Lynn, wait a second.
Okay.
Let's say we are in an authoritarian state right now. Is there a difference in an authoritarian state where I have access, where I'm not bound by an arbitration clause and I actually have access to the courts to go sue? Is there a difference in an authoritarian state where we have public sector unions that can exist or don't exist?
Okay, you are basically saying that the transition to the right, that we're in the process of.
No. I'm asking something very narrow. Is there a difference in an authoritarian state where we have public sector unions and one where we don't, in terms of the lives of people?
Okay, you're asking for something narrow, that total in a vacuum, as if there's nothing going to happen from that, as if there's nothing to follow that action. Part of where I make my stand is, I don't choose the nominee for the Democratic Party anyway. I let the Democratic Party know in advance that by sending them an email and contacting their office years ago in every election, that I will never vote for a candidate.
Nobody opened that email. Nobody opened that email, Lynn.
They need to take it.
They don't care about your email. They don't care.
Look, Sam, I actually called. People don't know this, but there's an actual office. I actually called and talked to somebody who was high-ranking, because they, believe it or not, they answer the phone. And I explained to them why I won't. So they need to consider these superdelegates. When they're nominating somebody, how many of us can't in good conscience vote for something right-wing? And you're narrowing down this thing
Lynn,
to
Lynn,
little
you listen,
debatable thing that you
Lynn,
want to
hold
take.
on for 1 second, because I
You're
am up
basically
against
throwing
it.
out everything that's relevant.
No,
You're
but Lynn,
throwing out everything that's relevant.
Lynn, listen, if we are on an authoritarian path anyways, why vote for Bernie Sanders?
Yes. I'm voting for Bernie Sanders as Sam, there's a revolution building, whether or not you are afraid of it or want to go that way or not. The only way to have a democracy in America again is through revolution.
Okay.
So basically what
Well,
you're
Lynn,
saying is that we're going to keep doing the lesser of two evils.
No.
We're going to keep doing the lesser of two evils, continue to consent towards the shift to the right, and by electing a right-winger from the Democratic Party in each election, this will be all on us.
Okay.
Because
No, I'm not saying that. Lynn, I'm saying, listen, if you're telling me that we're already in an authoritarian state and the revolution is coming anyways, in the meantime, I would like people to be able to get food stamps.
You know that we're an oligarchy. Sam.
Yes, I know that we may be an oligarchy. But, Lynn, the fact of the matter
is... Is an oligarchy right or left? Sam, is an oligarchy left or right?
All right. Listen, I honestly have to go because I got a pre-tape, but it is right.
It is right. So if we're already right of center, how do we get to the left, Sam? Why don't you contemplate that? How do we get to the left again?
I think ultimately...
I keep voting for right-wing things?
No.
Huh?
No. We get to the left by continuing to pressure our politicians to the left. So, in other words, how did we get a $15 minimum wage, Lynn? How did that happen?
Because the few of us on the left are standing up and fighting against every single thing that's at the far right or those who are trying to force us.
If we had, let me ask you this, in New York, if people had not voted, let's say, okay, now in the primary I voted for Zephyr Teacher, but in New York State, if the Republican had won the governorship, do you think we would have legislation for paid family leave?
Okay, here's the thing that you don't understand, that you're not.
Then you won't answer my questions. Okay, I understand. Right, so I won't understand it.
Your question, but my answer is bigger than the narrow thing you're leading to. When Susan Sarandon says the revolution will happen immediately, the part that you didn't understand is that our backs are against the wall and the left are standing up. It's not that we're shifting to the left. It is that in us a rage is building. So whether or not they gave into us here, this is.
Well, Lynn, if you're saying all this is a fait accompli, then vote for Hillary Clinton so we can have public sector unions in the meantime. So that during the time...
How did the Civil Rights Revolution begin, Stan? How did the Civil Rights Revolution begin? How did it begin? What you don't know is the revolution has begun.
Oh, all right.
The revolution has begun. How did the Civil Rights Revolution begin? Where do we mark that point?
Well, then, you know what, folks? It doesn't matter if you vote for Bernie Sanders in the primary because that's irrelevant, too.
How did the revolution begin?
How did the Civil Rights Revolution begin?
Huh?
With strikes.
One thing at a time. Rosa Parks refusing to go to the back of the bus.
You know, listen. I spoke to Rosa Parks' lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've sat down with Rosa Parks' lawyer, and there was a tremendous amount of strategy involved in that. Rosa Parks did not make a unilateral decision. There was organization. There was strategy.
I already know that, Sam.
Yes, okay, but Lynn, the point is that this stuff doesn't just happen out of the blue. That there is strategy, and the point is voting for. There is no way that the leadership that was behind pushing Rosa Parks in there. All right, Lynn, I gotta go. Honestly, I gotta go. I gotta interview Jan Hari for tomorrow. But I don't want to have this argument now, and you know I don't. And let's do it after the convention. Okay, when it really makes a difference there. All right.
Philadelphia. I think people should go to Philadelphia to protest.
Okay. I have no problem with people going to Philadelphia to protest. In fact, I'm in favor of it. But in the fall, if you attempt to empower the Republican candidate, you own them. Bottom line.
No, I want to break the back of the Democratic Party and force it to the left or force it to go away.
Well, I can assure you there is zero evidence to suggest that you're not voting for the Democratic candidate in the general is going to...
People need to understand the need to stop voting for the Democratic candidate.
All right. I got to go. The bottom line is no one can provide me a single shred of evidence that they're voting for a third-party candidate or in any way helping a Republican win. There's not a single shred of evidence that the outcome you're talking about will happen, that it will break the Democratic Party. I got news for you. They're perfectly comfortable. If Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, either one of them lose to the Republican, the idea that all of a sudden then the Democratic Party goes away and becomes much more progressive, there's just no evidence to support that. But I understand that, but that's why I say there's no evidence. Show me evidence. Even present to me a theory saying the revolution's going to break out, and I'm just not aware of it. That's not even a theory. That's just an assertion. Present a theory, how you get from point A to point Z, and then we can actually have an engaged argument. But by simply asserting that Donald Trump's there, the revolution's going to start. Well, the revolution's already started. Well, our backs are going to be against the wall. What does that mean? You don't think people's backs were against the wall in 2008? You don't think the Iraqis, civilians who died, their backs were against the wall? We killed 150,000 in civilians. I mean, this is all just make yourself feel good about yourself. And I am stop. I have no, I have been consistently critical of Bill Clinton over the past 12 years. On day one, when I had any type of public forum, I was critical of Bill Clinton and the policies. And I have been consistently critical of Hillary Clinton. But the bottom line is that 2 + 2 = 4. And you can't will that away. There is zero evidence that by having a Republican president and a Republican Congress is going to create a revolution. Where's the revolution in North Carolina? Where's the revolution there? Is it just sort of leaking out because people can go down to South Carolina? No, it's just a spiral down in terms of wages. Will Hillary Clinton stop that? Probably not. Will there be a difference in terms of like the Supreme Court? Yes, definitively. Nobody can dispute that. It's just, that doesn't count in the calculation. That's too narrow. Well, it's narrow for you, but it isn't necessarily narrow if you are trying to get health insurance. Hi, I'm Sam Seder, and this is an Ann Coulter doll.
You should not be immigrating here. Yeah. Stay in your country and hate us.
For smart progressive talk and a little bit of this and even a little bit of that.
Mission accomplished.
Subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook to get some of our best video clips.